Thank you all for joining us today for another edition of our Inside Abu Dhabi series. Today, our topic is Grow with Abu Dhabi Opportunities for Israeli Innovators. This webinar is proudly organized and hosted by the Abu Dhabi Investment Office. Audio is the government hub supporting private sector investment in the Emirate. We work with innovative companies to achieve long-term sustainable growth in Abu Dhabi. I'm Salvatore Lavallo, Head of Foreign Direct Investment at Audio. It's my pleasure to moderate this afternoon's discussion where government and private sector leaders will reveal why Abu Dhabi is the ideal destination to grow your business. In the past months following the historic signing of the Abraham Accord, there has been an incredible amount of work between Emirati and Israeli partners to forge new paths for mutual development and innovative growth between our nations. Before moving to Abu Dhabi 10 years ago, I was actually living in Tel Aviv, Israel, and thus I personally have been excited to engage with many Israeli companies and to bridge the conversations between two countries I have called home. We hope to see many of you in person in Abu Dhabi soon, and Audio is also pleased to have announced that we have selected Tel Aviv to be the location of our first international office, so we will welcome you there as well. Today, we will hear from the representatives of various sectors important to the growth and development paths of both Israel and Abu Dhabi, such as agriculture, media, healthcare, and more. We will also hear from ecosystem enablers in technology, finance, and industry. With our speakers today, we know you will discover how Abu Dhabi can foster innovation within your business, support the growth of your company, and provide access to a thriving local, regional, and global marketplace. Throughout the webinar, we will have opportunities for your questions to panelists to be answered. You can submit your questions in the bottom right corner of the portal. If we don't get to any of the questions, we will get back to you over email in the next 48 hours. To kick us off and to learn about how Abu Dhabi has been engaging with Israel and attracting top-tier innovative companies, I would like to introduce His Excellency Dr. Tariq bin Hindi, Director General of the Abu Dhabi Investment Office.
Hello, and welcome to everyone to this webinar. It gives us a lot of pleasure to host all of you today and help you understand a little bit how it is that we in Abu Dhabi and in the wider region can work with our Israeli compatriots and look at how it is that we can grow and build a business together. Again, thank you for attending. We'd like to demonstrate how it is that we as Audio can help support what it is that you are looking to accomplish, as well as how it is that you can plug into what it is that we are trying to accomplish and what our leadership are trying to grow. Next slide, please. I always like to start my presentations with a quote from our founding father, the late Sheikh Zayed, where he looked at how it is that he could keep our land growing at the pace of the modern world. And we believe that today where we're at, not only have we kept pace, but we've exceeded it in many areas in terms of our infrastructure, in terms of technology, in terms of our partnerships, and where we sit on a global stage today in terms of relationships and how it is that we continue to grow and thrive. What I would also like to add is there's another great quote that I've been using recently, and I know that the late Shimon Peres had used this a few times, and I'll paraphrase here, and that is that only people with fantasies can do fantastic things. And I think when you look at the leadership of both of our countries and what it is that we're trying to accomplish, it's apt that today we are looking at how it is that we can work with one another and sit at the same table to drive forward that innovation, technology, and the change that we're all looking for. Next slide, please. Today, as Abu Dhabi, we have a very enabling business environment. We have a strong and stable economy. We have established infrastructure. It is business friendly and continues to become even more friendly. And it's a place that residents love to call home. And this last bucket is actually a very important part for us, because the way that we approach all of these discussions, our narrative, our drive, our ambitions are all built around the fact that whilst we understand we have a natural resource that is in the ground, what is most important to us is that the people and the things that are on the ground, and that is the human capital, continues to thrive and drive that growth and delivery of their dreams, right? So that's very important to us, and you can see by everything that we've done in terms of this being the safest city in the world, that we continue to push the progress and recent announcements, again, at a federal level of what we've changed in terms of all the various things that help drive the betterment of society are very critical to us. Now, Abu Dhabi is a major economic powerhouse within the UAE, but also on a regional basis. Also, from an infrastructure perspective, we have some of the best technology and some of the best hard infrastructure, and our focus is now on building that soft infrastructure. And again, the business-friendly component here, and what I meant by us driving that friendliness even further, is that through these engagements that we have with the private sector and companies and individuals looking to make Abu Dhabi their home, we're able to then take that and adjust policy and help change regulations, because it's only through that interaction that we continue to improve. Next. Now, Abu Dhabi is very focused on innovation. In fact, a core mandate of ADIO is that we drive that innovation and technology. Now, from having an entrepreneurial mindset to an enabling environment, various funding sources, whether they be equity, rebates, or grants, an integrated infrastructure, research universities, and again, back to my point earlier about what our number one resource is, and that is the talent pool. That's the human capital that's going to help drive that change and transformation in Abu Dhabi and help us really push forward with all of our ambitions and aspirations. Next. Now, we've identified immediate areas of collaboration between Abu Dhabi and Israel. And again, we look at this from an Abu Dhabi perspective, where you will be able to drive that innovation and that change and that support that you need from Abu Dhabi, but it is to access the wider region. It's to access our economy and to access the wider region. We're looking at agtech, biomedicine, advanced manufacturing, life sciences, clean tech, energy, and these are the immediate opportunities that we've identified. And we as ADIO, working with our ecosystem partners, have been able to identify opportunities within each one of those, but also where it is that we'd like support from the innovators and from those people that are driving this change and transformation in Israel to come work with us here. There have been some announcements recently in various areas, including financial services, and on the fight, against this pandemic, with how it is that we're collaborating with one another. So we are seeing that opportunity materialize now, and we're trying to drive that even further. Next. Now, us as ADIO, we were established in early 2019. We are driving the FDI initiative into Abu Dhabi, but we're using financial tools to do that. And we're also unifying the message and making it a very simple experience for people to access Abu Dhabi and the opportunities that are here and the partnerships that they can create. We were established to promote, attract, and facilitate investment into Abu Dhabi, and we do that in various ways, which I will explain shortly. Next. Here's how it is that we look to drive private sector investment. Again, that simplification, that A to Z solution, that's what it is that we're pushing forward, and that's what it is that we think that we've gotten absolutely right to cater to each and every need of investors looking to work in Abu Dhabi. We also use incentive instruments that we're able to deploy to be able to not only participate with those companies that are looking to innovate, but also help drive that growth, secure revenue streams, look at how it is they can work with the state-owned enterprises as well as the private sector in Abu Dhabi. So that is that connectivity that we create through the instruments that we utilize. And then on an infrastructure partnerships perspective, we're also tasked with the public-private partnership initiative in Abu Dhabi and how it is that we can bring the private sector to invest in the hard infrastructure that we continue to build, but also be able to participate on a financial basis and help drive some of the efficiencies and the transformation of the way that it is that we typically build our infrastructure. Next. Again, investor care, this is what it is, the A to Z solution in terms of identifying all of the areas that you need support in, from data to visas to banking to permits and everything that comes with that. We are pushing this forward, and we're looking at how it is that we can help support you and make sure that whilst you may be having multiple conversations across the Abu Dhabi ecosystem, that you have a single point of contact that is able to help drive all of the support that you need. Next. Again, these are important tools at our disposal, and these are the incentives that we offer. We have financial incentives and non-financial incentives, and those financial incentives revolve around rebates and grants. Abu Dhabi is so committed to innovation and technology that they are offering cash and substantial amounts of funding to help drive the companies basing themselves in Abu Dhabi and growing in Abu Dhabi. These are not equity investments. These are grants and rebates that are offered to companies and businesses to come set up in Abu Dhabi. And then we look at how it is that we can plug you into the wider ecosystem, whether it be the private sector or the government-related entities and state-owned enterprises such as Mubadala, G42, ADQ, and so on, to look for that equity and partnership investment. And then on the non-financial side, again, it's that connectivity that we provide. It's that seat at the table to help drive changes in policy and regulation, and how it is that we can look at potential exemptions to help make sure that the private sector is being taken care of in the manner that it needs to be. Next. We're cooperating across the Israeli landscape with various entities. Again, we've had fantastic relationships and conversations and actually executable ideas that we've been working on with Invest in Israel, with the Israel Export Institute, and of course, us, as Sal had mentioned earlier, looking to open our first office in Tel Aviv or surrounding suburbs so that we can really access all of the potential that is there in Israel to bring it to Abu Dhabi and help you grow. Next. Finally, this is how it is that you can get in touch with us. My team is your team. We're looking at how we can work together to make sure that we simplify this process, that we make it as easy as possible for you to achieve your aspirations here in Abu Dhabi, and really work hand in hand with us to not only deliver on your corporate goals, but also on the societal goals and the innovation, technology, research and development that we are looking to help grow and turn into a thriving ecosystem here in Abu Dhabi. So thank you very much for listening. I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting discussion for the rest of this webinar. And please, any questions, comments, concerns, considerations that you want us to look at, please send those our way. We can only get better through this constant dialogue, and we want to make sure that we're delivering on your expectations and the expectations of our leadership. So thank you very much. Shalom, and enjoy the rest of the webinar.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's inspiring to see how our two nations are working together for economic development. Also, we've been having some questions about getting the presentations. You will all be emailed the entire event after the event, so please keep those questions coming in the bottom right. Now we will hear from one of Audio's main partners in the startup technology ecosystem in Abu Dhabi, Hub 71. Ahmed Alwan, Head of Strategy and Corporate Development, will be giving us the presentation. Welcome, Ahmed.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Tariq bin Hindi, and to the Abu Dhabi Investment Office team for organizing this distinguished event. I'd also welcome my counterparts and colleagues from Israel. I'm humbled to be here presenting to you Hub 71. My name is Ahmed. As Sal introduced me, I lead strategy and corporate development at Hub 71. I'll spend the next few minutes giving you an overview of Hub 71, what it is that we are aiming to drive, and hopefully we will be able to continue building our dialogue from here on. Hub 71 is an initiative aimed to enable the technology ecosystem out of Abu Dhabi. We aim to develop and nourish a technology startup ecosystem to promote technology in Abu Dhabi and with the long-term ambition of transitioning Abu Dhabi and the UAE from a technology importer to a technology exporter. We are a flagship project of the Ghadan 21 stimulus program. It is a $14 billion program aimed to invigorate multiple sectors of the economy. We spearhead the knowledge and innovation sector. We're also spearhead and led by Mubadala investment company, which is government-backed, and we collaborate with them across multiple areas, whether it's through investment or collaborating across their portfolio. The way we do that and building the ecosystem is that we really center our efforts around the startups to develop 4 key areas. That's access to talent, access to market, and access to capital. Underpinning all of that is a business and regulatory environment and building a community for the technology ecosystem. The map you see here just outlines some of the key partnerships we have or key enablers where we have developed partnerships, whether it's through academic institutions, global tech companies, governments and regulators, corporates, investors, and accelerator programs. And we have great examples in each of these. For example, when it comes to academic institutions, we have partnered with the INSEAD. The global tech companies, SoftBank and Microsoft, are strategic partners of ours. Governments and regulators, the ADGM, where we are based, or the Abu Dhabi Global Market, which is the Abu Dhabi's financial free zone, is an important and key partner for us to ensure seamless regulation for the tech ecosystem. Or corporates, we have a number of corporates that we have a active corporate engagement program and that ensure we are able to provide that depth and that access to market for our community of startups. When it comes to investors, we have key programs here. Mubadala, which has earmarked a fund to invest in startups and in funds in the VC ecosystem, and our close relationship with the Abu Dhabi Investment Office and ADQ on the Ghadan Venture Fund, which is also earmarked to invest into the technology ecosystem in Abu Dhabi. And we've partnered with the likes of Techstars for their accelerator programs. At the heart of what we offer, and I would say everything we do is aimed to promote and invigorate the technology and invigorate technology startups. And they are really at the heart of everything that we do. So we have developed an incentive program aimed to support these startups and their from a cost structure perspective, where we cover 50 to 100% of their housing, office space, and health insurance costs for a period of 2 to 3 years, depending on the stage of the startup, as you see here. That's really to help them. Again, it's non-equity in nature, amounts to about $800,000 of the duration of the program. Really helps the startups get off the ground. What's more important as they get access to this incentive program is that we do build a community of startups with the shared mission of building their businesses out of Abu Dhabi for the world. Today, our community of startups is 75 who are part of this incentive program. We have a target of getting to 100 startups by year end, and we are well on way to achieve that. They are diverse across sectors, from fintech to e-commerce, health tech, as you can see here. We accept all startups from different sectors, as we believe that all have an important role to play in building their businesses out of Abu Dhabi. I mentioned our partnerships area, and here just wanted to highlight some of the logos that we have established. We have more than 40 partnerships across corporates, government institutions, VC funds, technology companies, and government entities, all who have invested interest in driving the technology ecosystem for their own strategies for the benefit of Abu Dhabi and the UAE. In case any of you audience members are startups or know of startups that could benefit from the incentive program, we have a streamlined journey through our website where you can apply online that will guide you through the process. So we look forward to engaging with you on this front or in any other means. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. I can't wait to see some Israeli entrepreneurs in the Hall of Hub 71, God willing, soon. Now we will have our first panel of the afternoon about fostering innovation through Abu Dhabi's business community. Remember, you can submit your questions in the bottom right corner of the portal, and we will have some time for Q&A at the end of the session. So now I would like to introduce our distinguished guest. We have Michael Guerin, CEO of 2454 and Image Nation. Dr. Stephen Griffiths, Senior Vice President, Research and Development, Khalifa University of Science and Technology. Abdullah Balala, Acting Executive Director for Sustainable Real Estate, Masdar. And Iman Al-Marzouki, Project Manager at the Abu Dhabi Agriculture and Food Safety Authority, ADAFSA. It is really great to have all of you guys here. I am excited to share with our audience about how each of your organizations is supporting companies to expand to Abu Dhabi. I think we should start with a round of introductions. If you can each please give a short 30-second introduction about yourself and your organization, and then we will go into conversations and questions for each of you with Q&A at the end. Maybe we can start with Iman Al-Marzouki from ADAFSA.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Iman. We are from Abu Dhabi Agriculture and Food Safety Authority. We are in charge. We are actually the local regulator for the Emirates of Abu Dhabi in terms of food safety, biosecurity, and food security. We have also an investment branch, in which we promote investments in these areas, and especially for projects that employ agri-tech, innovative technologies, and as well as R&Ds. Thank you.
Thanks, Iman. And Abdullah, Balala, Executive Director at Masdar. Can you please introduce yourself and Masdar to us?
Thank you, Sal. Hello, everyone. My name is Abdullah Balala. I'm the Acting Executive Director of Masdar City Sustainable Real Estate. I'm delighted to be among you all here today. Without further ado, basically, Masdar City is well known of being an international player, not only on the renewable energy sector, but on promoting complete sustainable communities and sustainable developments, in addition to attracting latest technologies and latest great ideas that we can reflect in our realities. And I'll be talking more in depth about that. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you. And then Dr. Stephen Griffiths from Khalifa University of Science and Technology.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you to ADIO for inviting me to this excellent event. I'm Steve Griffiths, Senior Vice President, Research and Development at Khalifa University. For those not familiar with Khalifa, we are a research-intensive university based in Abu Dhabi. The university was formed in 2017 from the merger of Abu Dhabi's three leading research universities at the time, the Masdar Institute of Science and Technology, the Petroleum Institute, and the Khalifa University of Science, Technology, and Research. KU today has three colleges. We have a College of Engineering, College of Arts and Sciences, and a College of Medicine and Health Sciences. And across the colleges, we're providing degrees at both undergraduate and graduate level. R&D, which I'll be getting into later, is covered by 3 research institutes and 18 research centers. We focus on energy, water, health, space, supply chain logistics, robotics, artificial intelligence, data science, ICT, advanced materials and manufacturing. Looking forward to discussing all of this a little bit later.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen. And Michael Guerin, CEO of 2454 and Imagination.
Hi, everybody. I'm CEO of the organizations that are responsible for developing the creative industries here in Abu Dhabi.
Fantastic, thank you.
I'll talk more about what I do when during the course of the conversation.
Perfect. All 4 of our guests here are really important players in the enablement and facilitation of companies in Abu Dhabi. So maybe I'll start with Abdullah, and I would love to hear from you how you see that our countries can work together on cross-border innovation, investments, and new business models, and how you have seen our ecosystem develop over the past years.
Thank you, Sal. I think Abu Dhabi government, represented by our leadership and the organizations around it, have walked a long way towards that goal. Today, Abu Dhabi is promoting itself not only in the UAE, but across the region as the place to be for future industries, be it in AI, be it in energy sector, healthcare, or any future industries. Zooming in specifically about Masdar being one of Mubadala's companies and one of the major players in not only promoting energy but sustainable development, we believe that Masdar today is oriented in a way that can be the place that hosts such aim and goal from Abu Dhabi government. Today, when we talk about Masdar, for those who haven't been to Abu Dhabi or Masdar, I'll be talking about Masdar a bit. It's a 6 square kilometer, it's a free zone, investment zone, and it has the right ecosystem in terms of having such a prestigious and esteemed university such as His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan University of Artificial Intelligence. So speaking about ecosystem, Sal, I think we need to have that academic feeder, which will play a significant role in creating an ecosystem, in addition to the place being zoned and labeled as a free zone and investment zone. Another thing I would like to highlight here, which our friends in Israel and entrepreneurs and innovators in Israel can benefit from, is the partners we have within Master City. Today we're talking about companies as big as Siemens, Honeywell, Schneider Electric, from the private sector, that the Lockheed Martin as well, that have selected Master City to become their home. In addition to another international and global organizations such as IRENA, the International Renewable Energy Authority, which is a United Nations agency that its permanent home is Master City in Abu Dhabi. So having said that, there's another on the other hand, there's another good players that contributes massively to the ecosystem in Abu Dhabi and in Master specific, such as the G42 Healthcare, and we all have seen in the past couple of months the partnership and the memorandum of understanding that G42 Healthcare have signed with the Israeli companies. In addition to that, there is the TII, the Technology Innovation Institute, which selected Master City to become their permanent home as well. And add to all that other government agencies, such as which will play a role in a way that can facilitate and support the Israeli startups and innovators to come and be in Master City. So we believe that Master City plays or maybe represent the right ecosystem for such innovators and startup owners to be located at. One more thing I would add to what I'm saying in terms of having a right ecosystem in place is Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. Master is the custodian of the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, which takes place every January every year. This gigantic platform hosts annually roughly 8 to 9 heads of states, 120 ministers, 4,000 exhibitors, and a mass attendees of 38 to 40,000 people come and attend such platform every year in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE, which we consider a very loud mic for our colleagues and friends in Israel to promote their startups and to promote their ideas. So what you can think of us as Masdar, think of us as a lab for great ideas that can be the right incubator for these ideas.
Fantastic. Thank you, Abdullah. And Michael, similarly to Masdar, 2454 is home to some of the most innovative and high technology companies in Abu Dhabi. I would love to hear from you on how the UAE has managed to become this global innovation technology hub, and how that can work to attract foreign companies as well as local ones.
Yes. Well, I think the answer is the same answer that accounts for the success of the UAE and Abu Dhabi, which is the ability to combine the best of international expertise with local knowledge and resources. And as a result, we've won 2 Academy Awards, we've won a BAFTA, we've won 12 Emmy Awards, and we're recognized already as the creative hub for film and television throughout the Arab world. We're now extending that to digital gaming and other areas of the sector. And with the announcement of Unity, which powers basically all games and virtual reality here in Abu Dhabi as the headquarters not only for the Middle East, but also for all of Africa, we've already seen as the natural hub and home for digital development as well. I think one of the common themes I hope you took from Tariq's and Ahmed's presentation is that we are here to build an ecosystem. And so we're here to support companies. And as you heard in those 2 presentations, is through non-equity based subsidies, which means that your success is our success without us putting our hand in your pocket or your wallet. And that's very important. And that's a key reason why we already have over 600 companies here in the media zone. What's particularly satisfying to me is because I've worked for 52 years in the international arena. Most of our Israeli colleagues already known to many of us here. And as a result, we've announced deals with the Sam Spiegel School, with the Israeli Film Fund, and soon we'll be announcing co-productions, distribution deals, and we're well on our way to having a vital exchange of activities, people, programs. It's incredibly satisfying to watch the enthusiasm with which this effort is being greeted with people on both sides. And today, the last thing I'll say in this segment is that because we're building a new home for the creative industries on Yas Island that will open in the third quarter of next year, in the new Yas campus, there will be a dedicated space for Israeli companies, which means that our home will become your home. You'll be able to establish a presence here without having to pay rent for 12 months. Just pay for what you the time that you're here, but all of our resources will be at your disposal. So you'll have screening rooms, conference rooms. We hope to have an Israeli, young Israeli host manning or womaning the facility, so that it'll be really a seamless journey here, as though you were just going from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv. And like everybody else in this call, I welcome any questions because we're here to make you successful, because your success is our success.
Thank you, Michael. And as you were saying, it really is about that ecosystem. And, to highlight, we have 12 different entities in this webinar today from Abu Dhabi, and it shows just how aligned we really are. And one of the sectors that the investment office has been most active in, and that we kind of have the most coordination with the other government entities in, is agriculture. So Aman, from the ADAFSA, from the Abu Dhabi Agriculture and Food Safety Authority, we would love to hear your view on what role do governments play in supporting innovation in the agriculture sector specifically?
Thank you. Well, with the sovereign states and governments around the world are all in the same loophole of rapid population growth and higher demand for food, plus at the same time worsening environment conditions and depletion of natural resources. And so governments of states have been through bilateral and multilateral cooperation efforts involving other governments, private parties, NGOs, and research institutions are all working towards beating this by academic and industrial collaboration and prioritizing investments in innovative farming, food processing, agri-tech. So it's only imperative that the government of Abu Dhabi places this emphasizing the importance of such a topic. Now, we all know that we have here in the UAE the first minister for the food security. That only shows the direction of the government in this field. We at ADEFSA also as well, policies, regulations, governance practices, all they are all, since ADEFSA is part of the government and similar institutions, we all work towards having towards boosting innovation, employing technology, and trying to get the benefit and trying to achieve a sustained agriculture and self-sufficiency in food.
Fantastic, thank you. And then Dr. Stephen, we've all been talking about innovation, technology. Both the UAE and Israel are advanced and modern countries that both put a lot of focus on technology, but from different angles. Israel is known as a startup nation, a country with thousands of startups in many different areas, from IT to agriculture, automotive, healthcare. The UAE, we're spending significant resources in R&D in certain areas and implementation of that digital transformation process. So what business opportunities do you see with respect to these collaborations, and what areas in particular are you looking at doing research and development in Khalifa University?
Thank you for the question. As you said in the opening to the question itself, the UAE is committed to an economic development or evolution driven by innovation, which creates great opportunities. Just recently, the country established a Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology, which follows the prior establishment of a Ministry of Advanced Sciences, which set forth a number of areas around R&D and innovation where we can excel. And amongst those, we heard in the opening talk, many of them, energy is a very important area, of course, in the region. Food and water and agriculture is enormously important. And then health and space, supply chain logistics, and then the entire suite of underpinning technologies around the fourth industrial revolution, which would be that digital space you're referring to, along with the manufacturing and the materials side of the industry as well. In Abu Dhabi, if we shift away a little bit from the federal level, when we think about Abu Dhabi, there's further capability development happening and opportunities for innovation around the more recently formed Advanced Technology and Research Council, which has a little bit deeper focus in some of those areas around what I call the fourth industrial revolution or digital. And so here we see a new directed focus in the Emirate around autonomous systems or robotics, and then cybersecurity and secure systems, which of course is going to be critically important for any kind of digitalization happening in a large way. And through this Advanced Technology Council, you've heard in the remarks from Mustar that there's a Technology Innovation Institute leading applied R&D. Now, all of these initiatives at federal and Abu Dhabi level create a tremendous opportunity for Khalifa University and for partners that would like to work with Abu Dhabi and or Khalifa, because these are areas in which we see economic growth and diversification happening quite robustly. I see innovation, and innovation in a sense not just being R&D for its own sake, but really looking at the translation of R&D into commercial value, is being a place where we can take a selected number of these areas, most of which, if not all, Khalifa University is excelling at through the centers and institutes I talked about, and bringing our partners from Israel to come in and establish their technologies or work with Khalifa University to further develop their technologies for local use and as well as use in home country. So I would focus particularly, and we'll get to this I think in a short while in further discussion, in the areas in which we can jointly excel. And so we look at the areas of energy, agricultural technology. On the panel represented is some great comments about where that's playing importance, and then looking at healthcare and then the underpinning capabilities around ICT and manufacturing. I think these areas where Khalifa focuses, where the country is focused, where Abu Dhabi is focused, we can have great success in doing R&D innovation and partnership.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's been, I think myself in the past few months since the Abraham Accord have had over 120 different conversations with Israeli companies across many different sectors. I would like to now go and chat with each of you specifically about how your organization is working to facilitate Israeli companies, how the audience can contact you or understand what you are how they can collaborate together with you. So I'll start with Michael again. We would be happy to hear your vision of collaboration between the two ecosystems and how companies from Israel and Abu Dhabi can work together on some innovative ideas at Imagination and 2454.
Right. Well, that's very easy to answer because we are a facilitator. And therefore, when Israeli companies want to come here, they will come here through us, but they will partner with the private sector enterprise, which is the way business is done in our industry around the world. So we are absolutely, whatever a company in this sector, whatever they want to do here, and I want to emphasize that goes from marketing to events. It's not just limited to film, entertainment, and digital. They should be in touch with us. And then we will describe all the potential partners that could join with them. We'll facilitate the visas, talk about the subsidies that are available, and then get out of the way, which is also very important. So, because as I said earlier, It's their expertise joined with our local resources that will make us successful. And we do not want to interfere with that process. We want to facilitate it. And I answer my own phone. I respond to every email. Sometimes I'll be forwarding your emails to others, but I'm perfectly content to have my contact information in the chat box if that's how you will going to display it. But feel free to contact me directly.
So a very generous offer, Michael, and I think we had over 600 people register for the event. So I hope we don't overblow your inbox tomorrow, but God willing, some great things will come through. Abdullah, going back to you with Masdar City again, same question. What are the business offerings at Masdar, and how can Israeli companies take these forward and facilitate their growth here?
Sal, allow me to talk about Masdar City and the free zone offers in Masdar City. Today, Masdar City, as of today, there are more than 850 companies in 6 continents operates in Masdar City. From 6 continents operates in Masdar City, and that's pretty much important for startups being in a place that is diversified, but not only from backgrounds, but from different sectors, such as energy, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, agriculture technology, etc. We have a lot of offerings, but not only in terms of introductions, but we offer, and we all know that the most difficult period of time for any startup or for any company is how it gets set up. And in Masdar, we have the one-stop shop, which offers multiple services on behalf of the startups. And we know these people, for example, if they are our friends in Israel coming here, we will be taking good care of them in terms of helping them out, setting up and obtaining the right documentation and certificates to start up their businesses. But I'll add to that Masdar City Free Zone today offers much more than that. Things like 100% ownership, that's the luxury of being in a free zone and investment zone, and in addition to the dual licenses, which allow them to not only practice within the Masdar City Free Zone, but across the whole of the Emirates. And I'll add to that other useful tools around in which Masdar will be including them in all the events, such as the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week and other business incubators existed in Masdar City today, such as Crypto Labs and the Catalyst, which is an accelerator program which Masdar is having in partnership with British Petroleum, and they're located within Masdar City. So these are, in a nutshell, some of the benefits and tools that our friends in Israel might benefit from when they move into Masdar City, but to direct them and guide them, I think they're all invited, of course, to visit us here in Abu Dhabi, the UAE, in Masdar City. But an alternative way can be they can log into our website in Masdar City and Masdar City Free Zone, where they will see the packages and the competitive pricing around. And we are more than happy, of course, to support them being here in Abu Dhabi and helping them out and setting up.
Fantastic. And I think it's important to note, at this point as well, we've been talking a lot about the ecosystem, and we all work incredibly well together. All of these offers that you're hearing from each of the entities is not a limited. We will always have a combined approach. I work with Abdullah every week. We have weekly meetings with 2454, and I talk every single day with the DAFSA, and we're often bringing things with Khalifa University. So I think everything that we're hearing are things that we are complementary to one another, and we will always try and bring the best of Abu Dhabi to the specific situation of any investor that is coming. Dr. Stephen, specifically at Khalifa University, how can Israeli startups on their journey into Abu Dhabi be supported there?
Well, as we think about this question, I'll give you a little bit of background and give our colleagues in Israel a little background on how KU views R&D. So we've always looked at our R&D as being important to have a local context, local relevance, but impacting this whole society globally. And so we want to have this local relevance and global impact and do this through generating really, really strong knowledge in publications. Just as importantly, though, producing the manpower in the form of science engineering graduates that can contribute to companies. And I'll say that's a great form of partnership in a minute. And also innovation I mentioned previously. And we have lots of patents in our portfolio which we look to license or establish companies from, use this as a basis to establish companies where we can really provide good solutions that are going to be from a more innovation-oriented perspective, in addition to the solutions we develop with established companies that sponsor research at KU. Now, as we take our agenda forward and we look at these different areas in which we can contribute, we primarily at KU look at research that's going to be impactful up to prototypes. So people are familiar with technology readiness levels. We go up to prototype level and then look for partnerships where we can develop proofs of concept and prototypes into commercial products, which can benefit Abu Dhabi or it can benefit partners outside of Abu Dhabi. As we think about this framework, I would say the best ways in which we can work with partners from Israel is to consider in the first place potential fundamental R&D. There are instances where companies would like to pursue novel solutions to the challenges they face. That can be done with KU. It can be done with KU potentially in partnership with Israeli University. We have many universities that have approached us for partnership, and we're talking to all of them about ways in which we can work together to solve regional challenges. Applied R&D and technology demonstration, you get a little bit higher technology readiness is an area where KU does quite well also. Our institutes and research centers have a lot of partnerships. We're demonstrating some very novel technology. In Masdar City itself, we have some great solar energy demonstrators working with companies to show how a solar platform can bring technologies from more fundamental R&D to full commercial potential. We can license intellectual property that's being created around challenges which are locally relevant, provide that to companies, they can take it to further development, or companies may want to work with us to co-develop IP that we have in our portfolio. It's another option we have. And I'd say finally and importantly, we have really, really good graduates that can become the employees of companies which are locally establishing themselves in Abu Dhabi. And it's really important for startups and established companies that come here to have that supply of manpower, really good manpower in science and engineering, and we can provide that. So there's many ways KU is excited to work with Israeli companies, organizations, large and small. I look forward to taking some of these discussions forward in the future.
Fantastic. And Iman, we would love to hear more about how ADAFSA is promoting innovation and any upcoming initiatives or programs to further support innovation. And we've also gotten a question from the audience wondering if ADAFSA has regulations on importing of bio and animal ag tech to the UAE.
Yes. So, okay, in terms of encouraging innovation, promoting agri-tech, ADAFSA has dedicated a lot of plans for specifically for projects that have to do with agriculture, livestock, and food processing. However, only projects that use actually the high tech and the latest and innovative technologies. It's not like our job doesn't only end at giving those investors or interested investors the land, but we walk them through. We also we try to facilitate their work with the other government entities. We try to put them also with our stakeholders, and we also provide them access to our several R&D's stations here in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi. Those investors have as well access to our research results, like we have numerous research and studies results to which they can have a look at. They can also always get the technical assistance of our expertise here at ADAFSA. And as for the rules and regulations, well, at the website adafsa.gov.ae, you'll find a lot of policies and rules and regulations, but we need to check as for the policy of import and we can get back to you, and we can like make it available. I'll make sure. But first, maybe you need to check the website, and I will also check the website. If it's not there, we will see. We'll try to put it up there.
Perfect. Thank you, Aman. I like how, just as everybody has been saying on the panel, we're all happy to answer any questions that we're not able to. I think we've gone a little over time, so we won't have many questions for this panel, but a lot of the questions have been focused around different sectors that we support. I mean, we've heard now from media, from agriculture, from sustainability and R&D, but just want to highlight, we had a question from Ruchi Ladkani about tourism. This is another sector that we work a lot in and we have other partners in. We also had a question from Dan Zimra about commercial aviation, and from Noai Guasi about the dental and medical field. And we have many partners within the Abu Dhabi ecosystem that we work with in each of these sectors. We're happy that you've been able to hear from some on this panel, but please reach out to us and we can get you in touch with the right people in each of these sectors. So thank you very much to these panelists. God willing, we will all be working more together in order to help bringing some innovative Israeli companies into Abu Dhabi, and happy to chat with you guys again soon, inshallah. So we will now learn more about another sector, which has been one of the key sectors that has been working very hard since the Abraham Accord was announced, which is healthcare. And to talk about the opportunity in Abu Dhabi, this has been working very closely with different Israeli companies. The Department of Health, Neil Clark, Director of Healthcare Planning Sector at the Abu Dhabi Department of Health, will give us a presentation specifically on the topic.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And it's my great pleasure to be here today to give you a briefing on healthcare in Abu Dhabi and to provide some information for you. The slides I'm going to share today are available, there's more of them as well, available on the Department of Health website, along with a healthcare capacity master plan, which outlines the requirements in healthcare needs by service type and location for the next 15 or 20 years. Which is a very helpful document for anybody thinking of investing in healthcare facilities. If I just move the slides forward, we can see here that healthcare forms one of the 9 key pillars for the development of the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. And so I just wanted to point out that it is high upon the agenda for the leadership to promote and develop the healthcare services in Abu Dhabi. You've heard a little bit already about why Abu Dhabi, and we talked about the economic strength, highest GDP, one of the highest GDPs in the world, high-end innovative infrastructures in relation to road networks, safest country in the world, ranks #1 in the Africa and Middle East regions for quality of life, strategic location, 4.5 billion consumers across 4 time zones, as if we're in the central point. And that's helpful to understand for healthcare, because healthcare might not just be the delivery of healthcare for the residents of Abu Dhabi, but it might be for neighbouring countries in the MENA region and beyond. So we've already got a number of strong established record in advanced technology and biopharma. And you can see here a list of a number of the providers and companies that are already here and already working with Abu Dhabi. So let me take you into the healthcare landscape. So we've got 6,000 beds in 61 hospitals and just under 1,000 medical centres. You can see that the healthcare opportunity is growing faster in the MENA region than it is, for example, in North America and Europe. You can see at the bottom left-hand corner, the population growth is identified down there. And in addition to treating this population, we're also talking about how we can attract medical tourism into Abu Dhabi. With a plan to have 40,000 medical tourists coming in 2020, clearly impacted by the unexpected arrival of COVID, but there are strong plans in place to bring medical tourism into the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. We can see on this slide that we've got a strong and attractive environment to collaborate in this healthcare field. We can see that already we've identified that we've got a number of providers in Abu Dhabi with world-class reputations: Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, Imperial College, Seoul University, King's College. So already we have big international players in the healthcare industry here providing world-class healthcare for us. We're also amongst one of the world's first health information exchange systems, and I'll come to another slide on that shortly. But for a number of years already, we've had mandatory insurance for all the residents of Abu Dhabi, and an information exchange portal where we've captured claim submissions for a number of years. So we've got a lot of data already built into the system for the healthcare of Abu Dhabi, and this information will grow further as we move into our electronic health record. And I've got a slide further down which I'll pick up some more information on that. So you can see here that we've improved the capacity over the previous years. Over the last 5 years, we've gone from 3.9 beds per thousand population to 5.2 beds. You can see the number of physicians has increased significantly, and the number of nurses has also increased. If you look at this new infrastructure, most of this new infrastructure has come from the private sector. Now we're the healthcare regulator, so we manage the health system. We manage the health system for the region of Abu Dhabi, and we treat the private and the public sectors exactly the same. So all the standards and laws and regulations equally apply to the private and the public sector. But you can see here that the big growth has been in the private sector. There's been some new technology with the e-records and the e-claims coming forward. Centralised activity data flows through the Department of Health. You can license. We're moving to get to licensing facilities and healthcare professionals within minutes. 6 minutes is the target to get licenses completed by. We developed, along with the Healthcare Capacity Master Plan, which identifies the healthcare needs for the next 15 to 20 years. We've also developed a certificate of need. It's on the website. You can go in there and say, I want to deliver a dental service in this particular area, and it will tell you whether there's a requirement for that service or not in that particular area. And you can test out or check with the Capacity Master Plan where is the best place to provide your services from. So we've got a good regulatory framework here. We've got a decent set of standards covering most of the healthcare services, which are reviewed at regular times. And as I mentioned earlier, 98% of the population is covered by healthcare insurance. Just very quickly, I don't want to dwell on this one, COVID-19 in numbers. So the COVID response from the Department of Health and the leadership in Abu Dhabi was exceptional. Not only did we do more testing per capita for COVID, but we had some significant challenges that we addressed really well. And we increased significantly the number of beds, a 200% increase in bed capacity and a 300% increase in ICU capacity, 10,000 isolation spaces, 50,000 quarantine spaces, 100,000 digitally enabled home quarantine watches. So we developed a lot of things, and as like most places around the world, it helped the health sector move forward into the digital age, because often we're probably a slow taker up from the digital age, because in the health system, clearly any changes have impacts on lives. And so getting the regulatory frameworks right is a really important thing. But this really drives us forward to move forward into the telehealth system and to enable most of the healthcare to be taken, to provided by telehealth to patients remotely, and to save them having to come into hospitals where they were afraid to attend. So our model of care, for keeping the patient at the centre, of course, keeping them healthy, if they're poorly, getting them better, and sustaining that health, all surrounded by the typical things: infrastructure, workforce, governance, research, funding, innovation. And what we're trying to move towards is how can we develop this with a digitally enabled health system that's person-centred, accessible and equitable, value-driven and sustainable, collaborative and smart, innovative and pioneering, and resilient. And when we're doing this, we're looking at a number of models of care. For example, primary healthcare. We're developing a new model of primary healthcare in Abu Dhabi. But the aim isn't to replicate what's out there in the rest of the world and come up with a similar model that already exists. The aim is to leapfrog what's happening in the rest of the world and jump ahead to what will primary care look like in the future. And that might be about workforce, that might be about buildings, that might be Uber nurses, that might be primary care with no buildings. So a number of changes to come forward and how we can develop the system in an innovative way is quite interesting. And we have similar work ongoing with regard to mental health strategy and non-acute care, and also for establishing the centres of excellence for the serious acute care in the system. Just very quickly on here, as an Emirate of Abu Dhabi, we've got a number of systems developing biosafety labs, centralised labs, the cellular therapy services, and of course what's interesting to hear is the life science strategy, which was mentioned earlier on. So much work being developed along those key areas. I just want to pick up also the Centre for Health Research and Innovation. So we spoke a lot about innovation, and this Centre for Health Research and Innovation, working along with those private investors, working along with the startup and SMEs, and we've heard from Hub 71 today, along with the biopharma and the multinational companies, along with the existing health providers, and along with the academic institutions. So this is an exciting piece of work that's coming into play that will really allow
Okay. It seems that we have lost the connection with Neil, but we can send you some of this information. Please go to our website or email us at inquiries@audio.ae. The website is investinabudabi.ae. And we will make sure to get any of the questions answered. I can personally say that with the Department of Health, I've been on daily conversations between Israeli healthcare companies and DOH. They're working tirelessly in this field. I can't wait to see what comes next through these relationships. So also, please remember that we have questions in the bottom right corner. We will be answering them at the end of our next panel. So this panel will be about supporting the business growth in Abu Dhabi and across the region. So now I would like to introduce the distinguished guests for this panel, starting with Khaled Al Marzouki, Director of Commercial at Khalifa Industrial Zone, Kizad. We also have Omar Al Sarkal, Manager of Market Surveillance at the Abu Dhabi Security Exchange, ADX. Dr. Bhaskar Dasgupta, Associate Director, Market Development at the Abu Dhabi Global Market, ADGM, and Asma Al Mansour, Marketing Manager at the Abu Dhabi Airport Free Zone. So thank you all for joining. This is a really great group to understand the enabling aspects of the Abu Dhabi ecosystem. So maybe we can each start with introducing the organization that you represent, and then we can go into conversations and specific questions from each of you. So if I could perhaps start with Asma and understand what are the unique aspects of the Abu Dhabi Airport Free Zone, and what are the business offerings that are being given to companies there.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank Abu Dhabi Investment Office for this opportunity. It's such a pleasure to be present during today's essential topic. So let me give you a brief introduction about our core business. Basically, Abu Dhabi Airport's Free Zone is a global business address located at the heart of Abu Dhabi Airport's operation. Established in 2012 and today manages a property portfolio for more than 400 free zone companies coming from 50 different countries, majority share coming from Europe and Middle East. So our core business is to develop, manage and operate airport free zones with comprehensive business solutions and unique environments. Basically, we do manage our operations through three main airports: Abu Dhabi International Airport, Al Ain International Airport, and Al Bateen Executive Airport. Coming back to your question, what sets us different in the market, or what are the most unique selling proposition of DAVs? Basically, we do provide airside access along with the landside access, enabling business owners to easily move their goods from aircraft hold to cargo trucks. We do also provide a one-stop shop environment for businesses looking to establish a foothold at the Middle East, and ensuring that set up a business in Abu Dhabi is as simple as possible. We do provide dual licensing, and we are a VAT designated zone. In terms of our locations, we are located in a strategic location, providing a huge connectivity to global destinations, and ensuring to provide close proximity to key locations and landmarks within the United Arab Emirates.
Thank you, Asma. And we also have another free zone, Khalid, from Kizad, from Khalifa Industrial Zone. Would love to hear from you as well on what are the products and services available to Kizad free zone investors, and what are those advantages of being located in a free zone?
Thank you, Salvatore. First of all, Khalifa Industrial Zone is actually part of Abu Dhabi ports. We offer actually one of the world's fastest company registrations process in UAE. As a size, we are actually among the top largest industrial zone in the world, which is with size over 410 square kilometer, accommodating 600 mainly manufacturing companies, as I mentioned. The facilities that we provide are customized to accommodate both the SME and large companies. Actually, this year we won 3 FDI Global we won 3 FDI Global Free Zone of the Year in 2020, and one of them was actually for the lunch tenant category, and the second one was for the SME for the innovations initiative to support the small medium enterprises and continue to focus on providing cost efficiency infrastructure solution. So in Kizad, we offer free zone business startup package. This is to support the entrepreneur and the SME with the price starting as low as $2,500 per year. We also have types of pre-built units. Those are I would say that those are the light manufacturing or the standard warehouses. So those warehouses is actually vary from normal standard warehouses, cold storage, light industrial units, showroom, of course with different height, different power, in order to make sure that we can accommodate most of the industry. Irrespective of service as a free zone, we offer over 100 services through our online platform, which actually facilitate the registrations and the operations of the company. This year, in line with Abu Dhabi ports and the government of Abu Dhabi, to promote the business in the country in the United Arab Emirates, the package offer prospective to the free zone customer, saving up to 36% of the new registration and waiving any kind of deposit cost, including the registration security deposit. So our aim is to create the right platform where international companies can grow and expand their business, having the right facility and the needed services.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Khalid. And we have as well with us a couple representatives from the financial sector in Abu Dhabi. I'll start with Dr. Bhaskar. This new normalization agreement between the two countries is expected to create tremendous financial implications, and there's projected that there'll be a high number of cross-border transactions. So how at ADGM are you looking at this? How can we create a shared prognostic for the maturity and requirements from Israeli companies who are looking to access the UAE market?
Thank you, Sal. The background to Abu Dhabi Global Markets is that we were established as Abu Dhabi's international financial center. And as you can appreciate, for Abu Dhabi to diversify its economy, it needs two things. So one is obviously a financial sector in its own right, but also the ability to have a place which can advise, which can structure and finance the said economic activities in the various sectors. So what Abu Dhabi does, Abu Dhabi Global Market is a pure English common law jurisdiction. And the way it has been established is that it has its own independent English common law codes, fully digital. So literally, you can carry out your entire judicial activities from beginning to the end without needing to be physically present over here. We were, in other words, COVID ready even before COVID hit. Plus, we have the registration authority, which helps to look after companies and register, and the financial sector regulatory authority, which regulates all kinds of financial institutions ranging from venture capitals to funds, banks to reinsurance companies, captives, and perhaps we have one of the most active fintech regulatory jurisdictions in the world. So to answer your question, Sal, what we can do is to assist with a variety of ways for Israeli companies. One is, of course, you can put your headquarters and your regional corporate treasuries over here. ADGM is becoming one of the largest treasury centers in the region. So you have treasurers, you have accountants, you have lawyers. We have more than 50 law firms, international law firms over here. Arbitration, dispute resolution, consultancy. So all the things and activities relating to the commercial elements, relating to financing, raising capital, placing capital, doing innovation, doing assistance, needing assistance around structuring, all those things can very easily be accessible from ADGM. The final couple of points, we have access to some very, very significant pools of liquidity, not just Abu Dhabi Emirate backed, but also from private offices, from family wealth, from institutionals, funds, et cetera, et cetera. So for Israeli companies to look at Abu Dhabi, of course, my colleagues over here have told you about how you can put in your operations, manufacturing, et cetera, in their locations. Where we can add value is around having an English common law-based headquarters, your contracts to be based over here, and the ability to raise finance and make literally your organization as the regional base in Abu Dhabi. So I hope that gives you a bit of an overview.
No, absolutely, very, very useful. And we'll come back to you for more on ADGM. Another one of the key players in the financial sector in Abu Dhabi, of course, is the Abu Dhabi Security Exchange. And we have with us Omar Al-Sarkal. I would love to know more about what is the process for a foreign company going public in Abu Dhabi. How can ADX be relevant for Israeli companies? And how does it compare to other stock exchanges around the world in terms of size, regulation, liquidity, et cetera?
The IPO process, it takes almost like 6 stages. It's come from the initial approval, which has come from the federal regulator, among with the local DED, the development, the DED, local DED. So then after this initial approval, you go to the subscription, which is the pre-subscription for the founder. Then you can go to the public subscription, which is the IPO, the actual IPO. And when come from the actual IPO to the listing, almost it take almost 3 to 2 weeks, This has come with the incorporate the company and then register it with the federal regulation. Then at the end, it comes to the listing. So in ADX, one of the common condition is like the minimum capital has to be 25 million dirhams. Okay. The founder should not have less than 30% and not more than 70% of the issued capital of the company. You have to get other approvals. It's like if you are a bank, you have to get central bank. If you are insurance, you have to get insurance authority approval. If you are in health sector, as we heard, you have to get the approval from the health sector. So this is how the process, and when it is come to the going public in ADX.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That gives a lot of insight. God willing, we can have some Israeli IPOs in Abu Dhabi in the future. That would be great. We've heard about a lot of different sectors today. We had the presentation from the Department of Health. We had media. We have finance here, and we've talked about agriculture as well. I'd like to go back to Asma and understand, what are some of the subsectors that you see as having the most potential for the Abu Dhabi Airport Free Zone. Clarifying for people, it's not just an aviation zone.
Thank you, Salvador. Well, as a free zone district, we do have a strategic focus on attracting different target segments from multinational firms, startups, SMEs, and investors, highlighting the main or major sectors, which are aviation and logistics, followed by ICT and technology, trading and e-commerce, cold storage, management consultancy as well. So let me shed light quickly on the products that we usually offer as a custom-made solutions for our clients from the mentioned segments. We do offer warehouses with different operating models and airside access. So each cluster compromises of 2,880 square meter and divided into 8 light individual units, each spreads over 360 square meter. We do have our plots of land that varies from 5,000 meter to 8.3 square kilometer. We do offer as well aircraft hangars available at short-term or long-term leases, as well as our furnished offices that starts from 50 square meter, fully supported by services and facilities. Now, in addition to the mentioned products, we do welcome investors, and we do invite investors to come and invest as well as develop in our lands. As per the mentioned districts and areas, we do have an attractive or friendly rules and regulations at ADABS. So we are willing to build successful milestone or collaborations with our Israeli investors as per the mentioned segments. Now, quickly, I'll go through the best business solutions also that we provide for our clients and investors. We do have the provision of 100% ownership. We are a tax-free environment at ADABS. We do offer full package of services starting from company registration, leasing, licensing, as well as rapid visa processing, as well as zero import and re-export duties as well. Thank you.
Fantastic. And similarly, would like to put the question to Khaled to understand what are the, as a industrial zone, what are some of the key sectors that you guys are focused on at Kizad?
Thank you, Salvador. In Kizad, because as I mentioned, it is an industrial zone, we have actually to see what are the value propositions that actually Abu Dhabi can provide to the customer. So within Kizad, there are sub-clusters. So they have some clusters, some zoning within Kizad. For example, Polymers Park. Again, the reason why, because there is an access for those companies to the raw material. Plus, of course, everything's related to the polymers when you, for example, requirement of gas, requirement of intensive power, and requirement, for example, of a smaller plot size. So all of those value propositions. So we have the polymers, we have the automotive sector, the clusters, and we have metal clusters. We have the logistic, of course. Without logistic, none of the cluster will have an efficiency supply chain. And we have the food and the pharma. So I don't want just to say again what Asman said, that all the free zones, like for example in Kizat, we have both the free zone and the local zone, both. So the customer can benefit from the free zone, which Asma mentioned about, for example, 100% ownership, no tax, no custom duty. And on the other side, if you have a local zone where you can have direct access to the local market. Now, for Israeli, maybe it will be more interest for them actually to know more about the free zone, because just for their knowledge that most of the companies that came actually to Kizat, to Abu Dhabi, to UAE, they are actually selecting us as a hub. Not only for the UAE market, not only for the GCC market, this actually goes beyond that to the Middle East, and also we are very much connected also to the Africa and to CIS country, as well as we are actually kind of like preferred destinations of connecting all the way from Europe and Asia. So for such models, you need to have a proper connectivities, and this is what we have in Kizat, because we are next to the one of the world fastest growing seaport in the world, and we are very close to the four main international airports anyway. So such connectivity allow the customer actually to benefit from the free zone services and being very close to the customer base, both as I mentioned in UAE and in the region.
Fantastic. And in addition to all of these sectors that we've been hearing about, we're also within Abu Dhabi looking at supporting companies of all different sizes. So Omar, I know that ADX has a strategy for SMEs, for small and medium-sized enterprises. Can you tell us more about this and how that can be relevant and beneficial for Israeli companies?
Yes, sure. Even currently, we have one specific board for medium companies. We started this maybe 2 years ago. We have 2 companies, and now we have 6 companies. And this experience give ADX, to offer a more new services, which called one-stop shop, which is cover the SMEs from start, whether they are in the stage of consultancy, in the stage of finance, in the stage of incorporate, So we cover all of this within this one-stop shop. Then we carry and we care this company until they reach the level of listed in the main board. So we care of them so they can jump and reach the main board, so where they will have the full disclosure and transparency regulation. They will cover the corporate governance regulations. So they will be ready to be a blue chip within the region. So this is our strategy when it has come to the SMEs companies. We have also the financials tools and the financial which will help them, like having a market maker, having a liquidity providers, So these such trading mechanism, will allow them to grow within a free and a free environment, and feeling safe to growth. And this is also will be very, very positive. It will be very positive for both sides, whether it is UAE or Israeli companies.
Thank you so much, Omar. And then Dr. Bhaskar, we have a lot of Israeli companies asking us about fintech opportunities. So what advice do you have as the financial center, the Abu Dhabi global market, for Israeli fintechs that are planning to visit planning to enter the Abu Dhabi market?
Sure, Sal. I mean, first of all, as I said, ADGM is, by one account at least, in terms of the Reg Lab, the second most active fintech jurisdiction in the world. And there are several reasons why we are considered to be one of the most progressive jurisdictions. We tend to be very, very proactive and ask our financial institutions, our fintechs, our supporting organizations, as to what do they need. And quite often what we find out is that by being very proactive about this, and I'll give you a couple of examples, we tend to have a fascinating array of business models that get engaged and established within ADGM. So to give you an example, we were some of the first regulators to issue proper guidelines and regulatory rule books for virtual assets and crypto assets. Same thing with digital banking. We have recently updated our payments framework. Our funds framework perhaps is the most up to date. And we are constantly looking to upgrade and enhance our financial rule book. But that said, the Red Lab, which is where fintechs with an innovative business model stay, is of course, is as I said, the second biggest in the world. And we have some really, really interesting business models coming out of that. So fintechs can enter into our jurisdiction through three ways. One is if you're extremely innovative, then you go into the Reg Lab, and within a sort of prescribed environment, we will look after you and help you develop that particular business model. We will upgrade our rule book, and then you can launch once we are happy with the results. So that's the first way. The second way is quite a lot of people think that just because you are a fintech, you have to be financially regulated. No, not necessarily. A significant proportion of our fintech firms could be portals, they might be providers of technology, they might be enablers of technology. They are not financially regulated, and all that you need is a fintech, is a technology startup license, which is quite cost effective and can be set up quite easily. You, of course, are also able to apply to Hub 71, which is one of the most exciting working spaces, incubators, plus has got a lot of accelerators, including the FinTech accelerator run by Plug and Play. So that's the second way that you can go in. And the third way is, frankly, yes, the perspective we have is there is, frankly, not that much distinction between a financial institution and a FinTech. Every financial institution has technology, so we treat you like a grown-up. If you wanted to come in and actually start doing things that we have already got our rule book for, whether you're talking about a digital bank or you're talking about robo-advisors or virtual assets or e-wallets or stored value cards or what have you, you are more than welcome to come in and start doing your proper grown-up business. Plus, as I already mentioned, the English common law makes sense because as soon as you have established and are regulated with an ADGM, that kind of mechanism and the legal framework is understood in large parts of the world wherever common law is being used. And as you know, international business and trade is based upon common law. We are also part of a global network of financial regulators. And whenever you get established in ADGM, you get some benefits from other regulators as well. Final few points. We host one of the largest fintech events in this region. It's called as FinTech Abu Dhabi. It's going to be from the 24th to the 26th of November. And I strongly encourage anybody who's interested in fintechs to attend. It's online. Just search for FinTech Abu Dhabi. Number one. Number two, we are also going to be launching our digital lab, which has got quite a lot of banks and other financial institutions. Fintech firms can register themselves over there for free. We oversee it, and it has also got a marketplace, and the entire thing is based on open APIs. So we are actively creating an ecosystem where fintechs can actually sell their services and products to financial institutions. Other pieces that are coming in are like SME platforms. A very wide array of venture capital is based over here. We have recently soft launched our angel networks. We have got very, very deep and wide pools of liquidity that are available to invest in the startups, whether you're talking about scale-up capital or you're talking about startup capital. So end of my piece. Just to reiterate, it's a very warm, welcoming fintech jurisdiction, very active, lots of support available. And if you need anything, please let me know. You can look me up on LinkedIn, or I'm sure our details will be circulated afterwards. And I look forward to welcoming you to ADGM.
Great, thank you, Dr. Bhaskar. We have one question from the audience from Joey Chabot for ADX. How many foreign companies have done an IPO on ADX, and what's the typical size of an IPO at ADX?
See, currently, we have 3 dual company. They are based in GCC, and one is based in Arab country. As I say, if you are a dual listed company, or you are a foreigner company, so it's belong to the your law and your regulations when it is come to the capital. Our ADX market cap is almost 700 billion dirhams, which is almost $190 billion. This is the total of all listed company in ADX.
Fantastic. And there's one other question. We are a little bit over time, but this one was from Inbal. He said, "What are we doing in order to help business people on both sides to overcome cultural barriers and successfully work together?" I'll answer quickly from the audio perspective, and then if anybody else would like to answer. At the investment office, we have both relationship managers for all of the companies that we are working with, as well as our investor concierge team, who really is a white glove end-to-end service to support companies. We do a lot. It's not only about the financial side. It's not only about the ecosystem. It's really about creating these long-term partnerships and helping companies. So we are always we have teams set up specifically in order to do that, to explain some of the cultural norms, to help people understand the Abu Dhabi market and to grow together. So I'm not sure if anybody else would like to answer how some of these cultural barriers and how we can successfully work together. And if so, happy to have that. And if not, then I think we will wrap up for today.
For us in ADX, we follow the international standard, because international standard will become with the same process for every entities related to the capital market. It came with a unified risk matrix, which makes easy for people to compare. Then they judge above their investment opinion. So. And this has been built through years, and it will save their investors. So we follow the international standards when it has come to the regulations and law, and this will make for any investor among the globe easy to talk our language.
Fantastic. And I think we're, as you've seen from the event today, we're all always here to help. Please reach out to any of us. So thank you to all of our panelists today, and thank you to the audience for all of the great questions. We will now wrap up the event. I want to thank His Excellency Dr. Tariq bin Hindi, as well as all of our other distinguished guests that have spoken to us today. We will answer more of the questions from the audience in the coming days. In the coming months, we will also have many more different events to help you uncover the opportunities across Abu Dhabi. And next week, we have an event on tourism opportunities in Abu Dhabi on the 25th. So we would like to see some of you register for that as well. And you can please follow us on Audio social media to stay up to date with all of our events. You can email us at inquiries@audio.ae with any questions. You can get in contact via our website at investinabudabi.ae. And remember, we will be opening, God willing, an office in Tel Aviv or near Tel Aviv in the coming months. So we look forward to seeing you all there as well. Thank you all. Hope everybody will stay safe and that we will see you again soon.